Recession is here, my friends. The numbers, I don't know how you, look, we'll just read the numbers right here. U.S. productivity declined by 5.2% in the third quarter, the largest quarterly drop in 61 years. This is freaking insane. All right, so we're going to go down. The value of all products and services generated by labor increased by 1.8%. However, the labor cost of generating that small amount of added value increased by 7.4%. The labor cost increased by 7.4. The added value was 1.8. That's a productivity decline of 5.2%. The largest quarterly drop since 1960. Let's see. During the month when retailers are customarily ramping up their employment to cope with increases in consumer demand, the Christmas time. Oh, did I say Christmas? Oh, no. That didn't happen last month. The retail sector in November lost 20,000 jobs. National economists were trying to figure out why the unemployment report missed expectations by 300,000. Well, because the actual result aligned with other data suggesting that Q3 economy overall is contracting. Consumers are being squeezed by inflation that is creating a stagnant economy or stagflation. Now, here's the issue. Wage growth is currently at 3.9%. And when combined with the loss of productivity, the unit labor cost for businesses at a macro level means that it costs 9.6% in the third quarter. If employers do not start reducing their payroll costs as demand contracts, each unit will cost more money. I'm going to show you how that works. I have not seen any financial pundits concerned about where this cycle naturally ends. Perhaps the media silence is because the White House knew that Q3 productivity was alarming and to stir the administration to contact those pundits in advance to avoid widespread notice. Regardless of the reason for their avoidance, a drop in productivity at such a scale tells us to complete our economic preparations as soon as possible. The intensity of the inflation storm worsens with a weak economic employment outlook. All right, so I'm going to show you what happens here. We got a basic chart. We're cooking loaves of bread. Each loaf of bread costs $10. That's what we're going to say. So we have $10 a unit. For 10 loaves of bread, it costs $100. Now, does that make sense? So we're cooking. We have a demand of 10 loaves of bread. We're going to cook 10 loaves of bread. Each loaf of bread costs $10. Employment input for us as the business owner. All right, now productivity has fallen by what? 10%. So that means now each loaf of bread costs $11, or each unit costs $11, all right? Bear with me just a second. I'm going to show what's going on. Take a rocket science to figure out what happens here. I now only have 9 units produced for the same cost. So now I got 9 units. Cost me $99 to produce 9 units. So before I had 10 units, loaves of bread produced for $100. Now I got 9 units produced for $99. I'm a business. I'm into profit maximization. This is not profit maximization. This is not. This is deflationary on the demand side and inflationary on the labor side. Labor costs are the biggest cost there is for any business owner. Ask any business owner, say, what's your biggest cost? Labor. It's not material, it's labor, always. Why do you think they want to automate everything? So why is the productivity going down, you might ask? Why? Simple. Because so many people aren't working because whatever reason, the jabba mandates, because laziness, UBI, I don't know. But that's putting more demand on the remaining employees. The remaining employee says, I can't stretch. I don't have I don't have the capacity to increase my productivity. They're demanding more of the remaining labor force, and the remaining labor force is saying no. And they're getting out of the labor force too, or slowing down. It's like, I don't want to do this crap. And so they're saying, well, we're going to give you an increase in your salary by 3.9%. We're asking them to increase their productivity by 9.6%. They're like, that's not a good trade-off for me. So screw you. And on top of that, you're going to put your stupid mandate on there. Screw you. I'm out of here. What does that do for the remaining labor force? It taxes them more. And they're going to have less productivity because they're being stressed out even more. This is insanity. Just think about the hospitals, man. More and more patients and less providers. So what's going to happen to the remaining providers? They're saying, screw you. Yet the demand for the labor, the services in that regard are going through the roof because everyone's so scared of the shadows. So now you have more and more people paying for necessities, gas, food, bread, and things like that. It's okay. I will pay for this because I need it to feed the bear. I will pay that. But I don't need those things over there. You're going to have a complete reduction of demand, 100%, which is going to cause a recession without question. It's actually even worse than a recession. It's stagflation because you have inflated prices of goods, deflated prices of demand. I tell you, man, this is 70s all over again, except there isn't no easy way out. None. Other than reduce the freaking mandates, just get off the freaking anti-CO2 crap. Gosh, it's insanity. The recession's coming. You can see it's a mile away. You got productivity decline. If you look at any economists out there, from the right wing in particular, they say, oh, productivity is increasing. It's been increasing for years and years and years. And as such, that's a good sign of the economy. It's a good sign of the profit margins. It's not a good sign of the economy as a whole. It's not necessarily a bad sign. It's just not a good sign. Productivity increases is increasing in profit margins for the business owners. It's not necessarily good or bad for the labor, though. It's not. Now, if they're rewarded with increasing in wages, sure, that's absolutely. But if you got an increasing in your productivity demand of 7.2%, and you're only getting 7.2, and you're only, no, it's was it 7.2 minus 1 point? Yeah, it was 7.2, and you're only getting an increase in your wages by 3.9. That's not good, man. And on top of that, they can't keep increasing the wages because they're only getting an increase in the price of the product sold by 1.8. So you got three. I'm an employer. I used to be able to make 10 loaves of bread for $100. Now I can only make 9 loaves of bread for $99. All right. I can raise my prices a little bit. That's my 1.8% decline increase in my prices. Okay, but guess what? In terms of the net to me, I'm getting a little bit better net, but the cost of that is going up by basically 10%. It's cost me 10% more than what it did before. That means I'm taking a profit hit. I can't keep going on like that. You know how many businesses are running, their margins are freaking razor thin, especially in the food service industry? Have you ever worked in a restaurant? Have you ever worked in a grocery store? The profit margins are tiny. If you got a 10% hit in your total cost and your profit margins are only tiny, you can't keep doing that. Recession's here. Now remember, recession is only 2 consecutive quarters of decline in GDP. So we don't know we're in a recession until those 2 consecutive quarters are up. But this is it right here. Man, I tell you, man, if you haven't guarded your earnings over the last 15 years, Ed, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, what's this guy call me, a doomer? I was like, reality is reality. That doesn't mean you get all out of the market. I'm still in the market, but you better have some flipping cash, man. I had a guy email me today. It's like, I've been in stable value for a few months. I need to get back in. It's like, what are you doing? I was okay, do whatever you want to do, but I'm not going to be part of that. It's crazy. Anyway, love your thoughts. We'll see you.